this, the Good Morning Portugal radio show and podcast, which we do on Facebook Live because it seems to be the best way of doing it. Which now takes me to, finally, on the show today, the two-bedroom off-grid old barn in Penamacor, which is in the Castelo Branco region. And this comes courtesy of pureportugal.co.uk. Let me whet your appetite about this lovely place. Lovely sunny picture of this place that will be up on the Good Morning Portugal in a little while, and I will cut out this little bit of the show to make into a podcast if you want to send it to whet someone's appetite about living in Portugal and living in this particular place. The old granite barn, converted for habitation with a main living area, open plan kitchen, and sitting room with an open fire. Sounds lovely already, doesn't it? I'd love to be warming myself by an open fire after the show. Excuse me one moment. The kitchen is made of freestanding cupboards by the sound of it, and the current owners would be interested in leaving some of the furniture. This then leads to the newer extension where there is a shower room and two double bedrooms. Bedroom 1 can be a double or a twin. Bedroom 2 is very large and can be split into two or have a mezzanine added to make more space. I'm loving the sound of this place. Most furniture will be left, however, but this needs to be discussed with the owners. The shower room has a flushable toilet, which currently runs to a pit, which doesn't sound very nice, does it necessarily? But I'm sure that means like a septic tank or something like that. Because that conjures up other sorts of images, doesn't it? Running to a pit. But for less than €500, you could go to a composting toilet. A vermi composting toilet could be fitted for less than €500, adding to the glory of this property's off-grid nature. And the fan heat is burning my legs a little bit. Sorry, that's why I paused there for a moment. So in this property, you can warm yourself by an open fire, unlike me warming myself with an old 70s bedsit-style fan heater here. The water is gravity-fed from a tank on rocks at the back of the house, which is connected to a covered well. Oh, man. The whole house is in good condition with tiled floors throughout, and the extension walls are plastered and painted. Out the front of the house is a sink with running water and a small patio. Gas is used to heat the water. Apart from the gas and the firewood, there are no running costs to the property. So what about electricity, I hear you ask? Well, at the back of the house, the solar system, which you can see in the photos, and I will add the listing to how, when I publish this podcast so that you can go straight to it and see those photos. This was newly bought and fitted in 2017 and is quite a large system that can run a fridge, freezer, and a washing machine. Well, they built a shack outside with a workaway family, which currently has a compost toilet section and a shower section. This was the start of building infrastructure for guests, which is a little clue as well to how you might use this place. It needs a tank to be connected and gravity feed to the shower. The house is totally exempt from habitation laws, apparently. We confirmed this with our lawyer, they say, when buying, so it's completely legal habitation. Land with 8,000 square meters with the opportunity to buy more, a good value to make it up to the 1 hectare if you want to. So it sounds like the neighbours are open to selling some land as well. And it doesn't sound like it's going to break the bank to do that. Lots of olive trees and fruit trees, including figs, apples, pear, plum, pomegranate, persimmon. Persimmons here are fantastic. This year I really understood and got into persimmon fruit, really like that. Almond and more. Of the trees that you can experience here, and there's great land for growing vegetables. Apparently, there is space to put 1 to 3 yurts, teepees, or bell tents for renting out, and possibly a small dipping pool. So you can see where this is going. This is a business opportunity as well. You could also live in the yurt yourself and rent the house out as a small hostel with outside communal areas. That's another business idea possibility there. House would need modifying a bit for this purpose. There's also scope to buy other bits of land around the Quinta from Portuguese neighbours very cheaply to extend the property and include a small rocky granite mountain with amazing views over to Monsanto. Ooh, Monsanto, I have to mention that. And it'd be lovely to have a hut on top of the mountain, the granite mountain, they say. And I agree. Lovely neighbours within walking distance around the house and local and expat community in the local area. The Quinta is set in its own secluded valley, 20 minutes walk outside the popular village of Aldeia de João Pires, 10 minutes drive south of Penamacor. I've got to do a bit of a special on Penamacor, I think, at some point, because it is a bit of an epicenter, a nexus point I think, over the last few years, and certainly still. It has stunning views towards the village on the hill Monsanto, which is stunning when it's lit up at night. Akin to 10 to 15 minutes drive to Penamacor, 15 minutes drive to the aforementioned Monsanto, which is this village made of the beautiful rounded stones that you'll see, and also known as the most Portuguese village. That's Monsanto. 3 minutes drive to the village of Aldeia de João Pires, 50 minutes to Castelo Branco, 40 minutes to the city of Fundão, which I have been speaking fondly of recently. I think they have a very progressive policy for inward investment there, is the impression I get. And I published something about Fundão in Good Morning Portugal if you want to take a look. And they're switched on look at people coming and living there. A few lakes and river beaches around for swimming on hot days, and many of the villages and towns have festas all year round. Fantastic party to go to every weekend, by the sound of it. And there's a growing expat community around the area who are very supportive, and lots of new opportunities arising. The local Portuguese are very friendly and welcoming too, which comes as no surprise to me, I have to say. So it's on pureportugal.co.uk. Its reference on there is the old barn. HBT 75 is the reference number. And you can get it for a piffling €70,000. Isn't that a bargain? If at this time of year, have we had Blue Monday yet? Was that last Monday, or was it the next Monday coming up? If you're thinking, to hell with this way of life that I'm living and struggling with, I'm going to go get myself an off-grid gaff somewhere in a sunny country, this is perfect. This is a good one for you. And they've got many more like this on Pure Portugal, and there are many more like this in Portugal as well. So well worth a look. And that brings us to the end of the transmission this morning. So lovely to have had your company. Oh, Duiante has been on asking for Porto weather. Did I not do that this morning? I'm sure I'm going to whiz back to Porto to I did do Porto, but let me just finish with that then. Thank you for that weather request. I've never heard of that before on a show, people requesting the weather where they are. Obviously, it suits our small audience at the moment. We won't be able to do that if we go to having hundreds and thousands of listeners, but you're very welcome today, Duiante. The weather in Porto is still foggy, and it's currently 11 degrees in Porto. And I'm sure there's, it's a bit of a microclimate, isn't it, with a lot of variation. A series of microclimates. There's a lot of variation in and around Porto. So I don't know exactly where you are, but in the city where I guess this weather report would be coming from, currently 11 degrees, currently foggy, but you can look forward to a high of 13, and looks like you're going to have some sunny weather tomorrow, but a return of, next week of the rain. So there you go. This has been the Good Morning Portugal radio show and podcast. Take care. Bye for now. See you tomorrow. Bye.